All right, welcome in to our very first sit down with our man TD Moultry. TD, man, I am so jacked that you're partnering with Auburn Live, man, and you're joining us to kind of talk Auburn football and take us inside and what you're thinking and all that stuff, dude. I'm very happy that you're a part of this site. Auburn fans are jacked to hear from you, man. Just welcome, man. How's life?
Hey, everything going well, man. Just taking day by day, put one foot in front of the other. Just happy to be here. Thank you.
Man, so you're entering week three, man. What's the fall camp been like so far, man? Just leading up to where you're at. You're heading into Penn State, which is, man, such a big game, dude. But like, talk to me. How's fall camp leading up to now? How things been going for you?
Everything just been going great. Just make sure we're preparing and just focus on Auburn and make sure Auburn play football and not playing to Penn State football. So we're just playing our football. Everything go out plan. So just taking one day at a time. So like I won't worry about Wednesday when Tuesday was here, and I won't worry about Thursday when Wednesday was here. So we're just taking one day at a time, and we're gonna be on where we want to be. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday determines Saturday.
Man, take me back, dude. When we talked to you recently, and you gave an awesome interview, and you talked about why you came back for your senior year, and you talked about there's no other place for you than Auburn. You were like, I mean, Auburn is TD has to be in Auburn. Just what did you mean by that? Take fans inside, like how much you love Auburn.
Um, One thing about Auburn fans and Auburn people, they know blue collar. So when people doubt me, it's just one thing. Okay, that's why I came to Auburn. Like I want to beat teams. Like people expect to win. So I want to be that team, not be a part of legacy, but make my own legacy. So it just coming back here, I just feel like it was more I could have did and been done, and I'm still trying to do right now.
Dude, how tough is the first your first 3 4 years at Auburn, man? I mean, you were hyped as a recruit. I mean, you're big time, and I know you had your struggles, man. I mean, how hard was it the last few years?
It was tough, but freshman year, everything went how I wanted to go a little bit. Even though I wasn't starting, I was playing behind Jeff Holland. He was a great passer at the time. The last 2 years, I had to learn how to deal with injuries. So that was the main thing. That's what I believe. Like God just set me down, just learn how to deal with injuries. Like everybody go through pain, so learning to deal with pain was the biggest thing. So, and I thank God for that, rather now than later. So being a starter probably sophomore, junior year, and no pain and being injured, and my senior year around this time and not dealing with pain has probably been the thing. Probably like yeah, better then than now. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I remember you talking about you were talking about just kind of your confidence and making sure you stayed confident and I thought that was interesting. You're kind of like you're at a good place now. You got to maintain that confidence now. But was it just the injuries that just kind of made you feel like how good at like did you just lose? You know, you were so good. Do you just when you have those injuries you forget maybe how good you can be and you just got to figure out how to get that back? Like what's the take people inside your mindset when you're struggling with your confidence?
you got to know when you struggling with some stuff. It's always when you point fingers, it's three fingers pointing back. So I was pointing fingers at three people, not three people, but at people. But it was also three fingers pointing back on reason why I messed up, why I couldn't play, what's going on with even with school. Like all that it adds up why I didn't do what I supposed to do in them 3 years, 4 years. Know why I'm in my fifth year, and it took time for me to notice that. So when I was pointing fingers, it was always three fingers pointing back at myself, knowing I was always doing something wrong as well. So I had to learn well my cons as well.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. What do you think about this new staff? Obviously, I know you probably have a lot of great things to say about them. What was your tell me about the first time you met Bryan Harsin?
Um,
Do
Met
you
Brian.
remember?
I talked to him. I welcome to the staff, and um, I just seen what he can bring to the table before even he even did or even talking to him. So I just know he's a consistent guy, and I want a consistent person in my life because that mold at like a consistent person could mold a consistent man or consistent woman. So he could treat everybody the same. So he just consistent all around what he do. So just being around him, he just bring light to teams. So we play for him. So he out there, he run with us. He talked to us. He talked to everybody on the team. So it just motivated everybody. So
Dude, what is that like? I mean, he's running stadiums, he's running decks with y'all, which I mean, I've never seen. I mean, not many head coaches could. That's some serious stuff. He's benching with y'all. What's that like?
It's different. Like you play for coaches like that. Like coaches like that, it ain't. It's hard to come by. They ain't just telling you to do it when they out there going to do it themselves. So you can actually, okay, he running with me. I got a little more. I got a little bit more with me too. I don't know how Coach Harsin is, so I'm not gonna put an age on his name on him. But if he out there running with like 20 years old, 24 years old, we should all be the same. It's about the will that you want to do it. It's all about your will.
Dude, tell me about Coach Eason, man. What's he like?
Oh, he a pass rush genius. I love Coach East. He gonna tell you what's real and what's fake, your pros and your cons. So just knowing Coach Easton and then knowing he came from NFL, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from him as well.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about him, man. All right, so tell me about like what you're doing in this defense, man. You've had an awesome first couple games. Um, I mean, you seem like you're hitting your stride. I mean, shoot, they're even moving you inside at tackle sometimes. I mean, if I guess if it's on like those third and longs rush situations, you're using your speed on the inside. But how do you feel kind of moving around and using your versatility? How do you feel like it's going so far?
It showed the league like what I can do. I can drop back in coverage. I can pass rush outside. I also can pass rush inside with a guard, with a tackle and beat the tackle down. So on the down block as well. So stuff like that. I love it. So it just showing how versatile I am.
Yeah. What do you think about Derek Mason?
Yeah, man, I love Larry Mason. He's consistent, and he love football. You can see it on him. He talked to all of us. He just love football. He does. He just know what he want and what the goal is in mind. So,
dude, you got a big one this week. You got a big one this week, Penn State. How's it been different this week in practice? I mean, do the coaches talk about it? Like, do you talk about the fact that it's a bigger game, or do you try to just keep things as normal as possible, or do you try to recognize, hey, it's a big game and get hyped for it? I mean, what's practice been like, dude?
I say it's the consistent thing, just being 1-0. But practice, this game is a big game because it's a next game. So they, like I said earlier in the interview, we go out there and play Auburn football. Everything gonna come up. And one of the coaches said today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday determine the game. So this game, if we come out and victorious, it would determine if we had a great week this week, as far as Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if everything wasn't good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll see how the game go.
Did you have that mindset last year, the last couple of years? Like, is there any difference in how you're approaching the practice week because like Harsin seems like to me, he's very, I mean, that dude is like a robot. I mean, it is like process and procedures. He's like a drill sergeant to me, but it is, I mean, and even your answer seemed like one that Harsin would give. Like it's all about practice. Like, is that how he is? I mean, is that how it's been, or?
That's who we are, and that's why he's a great coach right now. And he's winning a lot. I don't care what nobody say about Boise State and coming to SEC. He trained the men first before football. So like you get that, you can win some football. Then we plan for him as well. So they also had somebody a speaker came and spoke with us. The speaker said, show up, give a shit, and repeat. So and we have that in our room, just show up, give a shit, and repeat, and just do that every day.
Is that y'all's room or the whole team's room?
Team.
It's a team room? Yeah. Dude, but you got to be jacked. 106,000 fans, Penn State, on the road, top 10 team. You're the underdog. Man, I mean, what are you feeling, dude?
Blue chip. It's okay. It's just football. They still got to scrap up just like we do. It's just a number. If they would have ranked us at 10 at 22, what would have been the difference? I don't see no difference. We just be playing at Penn State different. That's the only difference. But blue chip, we love it. That when Auburn do its best anyways.
Dude, everybody's talked about this crowd. Everybody's tried to. You guys are probably isolated from some of the talk, but a lot's been made about the whiteout and all their fans and stuff, man. But like y'all are in the SEC. I mean, you've been to some tough places. I mean, how does all the noise affect you on defense? We know offense, like it's hard to hear, but I mean on defense, you know, what are the difficulties like with a loud crowd? I mean, how does it affect you?
I really don't know. You had to ask somebody who ain't played in the loud stands. I played in 2017, 2019, when we had the loudest stand in college football and still do, and we gonna get it back to that. 2019, we beat two number one teams, jumped 8 4 stars. So to me, it's not the stadium. It's not the crowd that's gonna do anything. The players gotta play. We gotta play.
What do you think about what are you taking? So when we talked to Harsin, he was, he said, by the way, he had a great quote this week. He said somebody asked him about the crowd at Penn State, and he said, "We're not shying away from that." He said, if you're going to shy away from that, he goes, "You could stay off the plane. We'll take somebody else." Do you see that?
Yeah, I seen that. I heard it, but hey, the crowd may be helped, but when they silence, we just gotta silence the crowd. When we doing our job, the crowd will silence itself. So we'll know how loud their stadium is, win, lose, or draw. So I hope they be loud the whole time. Just know we coming.
How huge would this be for y'all? Like, first 2 weeks, I feel like everybody's kind of like, you played, you probably should have beaten those teams, whatever. But this would be big, man, for y'all, for Harsin in his first year, for y'all's confidence as a team this season. I mean, big game.
Yeah, it is a big game. It's just playing. You can't make it too big that when you start doing stuff you shouldn't do. Just doing our job is the most important thing. Like go back, I said, just doing our job and playing Auburn football. It's not much to say about that because at the end of the day, they still got to put their pass on. The fans ain't gonna be no problem. Rankings don't mean nothing because it's a lot of upsets. So in college football right now. So
Oh yeah, no doubt. What's some of the coolest things that Harsin and that staff have taught you so far? I mean, Harsin's such a process guy, but what are some of the things that have stuck with you as you're growing as a player? He's trying to mold his team, obviously, and build his culture. What are some of the things that's like, this is the Bryan Harsin way? This is how it's going to be on his team. Are there some things that stand out, like that he's not going to stand for this, or you better be doing this if you're going to be a part of his team? Are there some things like principles that stand out to you?
It started with little things. He always on the little things. So the little things matter. The little things make the bigger problem come. So as far as like little things, picking up your stuff in the locker room. He said the teams I know or been around always clean up behind themselves, even if it wasn't their trash. So just picking up behind themselves, I think that got better since I've been here, way better. So he's really big on just make sure we pick up behind ourselves in the locker room, and it don't be in the trash there, but it can be better. And he always talked to us about everything that's the smallest thing that it multiplies to big things if you don't know it's the small thing.
All right, let's end on this. Auburn fans are watching this, okay? So Auburn fans are going to watch this. They're watching TD. They're getting ready for the game against Penn State. What's your message to the fans that are traveling with you to Penn State? You'll see them there in orange. And the fans at home watching, get them fired up. If they were in a huddle with you, if they're in a huddle with you, and you're trying to say, hey, we're about to play this game, like what's your message to these fans before they're about to watch a big game against Penn State?
I'm gonna say it ain't much, but I'm gonna say what Coach Eaton say to us before we go out: hunt, just hunt. So just watch us, just play ball and running fast to the ball. So just hunt.
And then you got to end. How do you end your interviews, man? That was one of my best parts.
Hey, war down.
TD, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you joining us, dude. I'm so pumped that you're going to be a part of this on a weekly series, man. Talking to the Auburn fans, man, connecting with them. It's so awesome. And we're proud to be a partner with you, dude. So keep up the good work.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, TD. Appreciate it, man.